Now I'd like to show how to bind receivers to your core radio. We'll start by going into the main menu, the major menus. Down in the bottom right, next to settings, you'll see receiver. In this menu, you'll see all of the receivers that are bound to this model. You'll see there's already one bound to this model. You have two options, binding or remove. Remove is very important, as if you have a receiver bound to a model, the transmitter will always be looking for that receiver. If it's not installed into the model, the transmitter will not connect to the other receivers in the model. This is just part of a safety lockout, just to make sure all the receivers on board are functioning. So we'll start by removing this one. Just tap remove. We'll go blank and you'll see the serial number clear out. There's two methods of binding. I'll show you the first, which is hit binding on the transmitter, then power on your receiver. Binding receiver 1 successful pops up. This means that the receiver is bound and you can install it in your model. The other method is to power on the receiver first and then hit the bind button on the transmitter. This does take a little bit longer. It's still within 10 seconds, but the other way is faster. So we'll power on the receiver, tap binding, and you'll see the binding receiver successful message pop up again. So now I want to demonstrate what happens when you have an unsuccessful bind. We'll just go ahead and just hit this binding button. You'll see it time out and give a binding error. In these cases, typically it's because the transmitter is too close to the receiver. So you'll just need to power off the receiver, take a step back with the transmitter in hand, and try binding again. Now I'm going to show how to use the calibration menu. This is very useful if you change out a 3-position switch for either a linear or 2-position switch. You can also calibrate any of the controls if you notice they aren't quite getting full travel. Start out by going into the pull-down menu, the main menu, and then settings. Calibration is under the system settings, down towards the bottom. We'll see calibration. Tap start. Then you can go in and just move any of the switches. I'm going to do the flap switch for a demonstration. You'll see the control name pop up, the type of switch. This is a 3-position. You could change it to either 2-position or linear. Then the control direction. This is a way if a switch is installed inverted, you can reverse it here instead of having to do it every time you add that channel on your radio. So now I'm going to tap calibration, and we'll want to see the endpoints first. Then tap proceed, and we'll want to see the center position. If it says ready, we'll tap ready. Now the switch is calibrated. So if we go out here, go into my servo monitor, I have this set up as servo 5, my flap servo. And you can see I've got full 100% travel on either side of center.